Hello my lovely friends, it has been quite some time. Life has been really busy, we've had baby number 5 and I have really missed doing my YouTube videos. So I've decided that despite it being a howling gale outside, I'm going to start doing some kind of vlogging just so I'm getting something out there so I can maintain this relationship and the community that we had started building, and I have literally just bailed on it because life got too busy. So I'm back. I'm going to attempt to do some videos at least a few times a week and just show you what life's like living completely off-grid with 5 kids trying to build our new homestead. Right now we have the exciting opportunity to get a house cow, which is kind of just, it came a wee bit out of the blue. It was quite unexpected. I knew we were going to get one at some point, but I didn't expect to get one until we had permanent fencing, and to do that we need to sell the other house, and we haven't sold that yet, and so I'd kind of put it on the sort of back burner waiting until we had some fences. But this opportunity is too good to pass up. It's a family friend is wanting to rehome her very lovely house cow called Willow. She's an A2 naturally polled Jersey, and she's quite little and she's in milk at the moment. Unfortunately, she lost her calf, so she doesn't currently have a calf on her, but they only milk her once a day, which is perfect for us. Also, she stays behind a single strand of electric fence. Now, to get her, we have got a whole lot of infrastructure that we do need to throw together quite quickly. Thankfully, we had some money set aside for getting animals in the future, and so we're using some of that. We need to build a milking shed. I've bought a milking machine because she's off a dairy, so she's used to being milked with a machine, and the family that's had her has been machine milking her as well. Of course, to run the machine we need a generator, and I've bought a few other bits and pieces, as well as some more electric fencing, because doing temporary fences in 40 acres is a lot different to doing temporary fencing in 10 acres. We thankfully have some grass growing out where we're going to put her, and we're just working frantically to try and get this done. Thankfully they don't have a specific time limit. They are going to try and get her AI'd later this month, which will be really soon because it's almost the end of the month. And yeah, we're working on getting this shed done. So me and the boys are going outside. The baby is currently asleep. My 15-year-old is bouncing him in the bouncy seat. So hopefully we get a wee bit of time while he is sleeping. It's really windy out there, so I'm not going to try and talk to you while we're out there. But if I need to, I'll do a voiceover so you can hear what we're trying to say, because it's, yeah, the sound would just be atrocious. And I hate listening to YouTube videos that the sound is bad, so I'm not going to do that to you. I've already pre-cut a lot of the wood the other day when the baby was thankfully sleeping for an hour or so. Managed to get a whole lot of it done. As you can see here, I have pre-cut pretty much all of the stuff I need for the 2 ends and the sides. We're going to be putting this on skids because long term up here will be where we are putting the house. Is going to be a cow shed with probably one of the best views around, where we can see out to the ocean and get all day sun. We haven't yet quite decided exactly where we're going to put it. Micaiah and I are going to move all this timber all the way down to the end. I know it's going to be down here somewhere. We just need to find ourselves a flat piece of land. Moving all that timber took a really long time, a surprising amount of time, but it's the joys of only being able to do it 1 or 2 pieces at a time, and over rough terrain, so we can't even use the trailer. But that's right, it's all there now. Now we're going to take these skids and attach the poles to them. We need to make sure that we measure in from the edges enough for the rails that will be going sideways, and we're just kind of marking off where they're going to go on one skid and then lining all the skids up together and transferring the marks over. We're going to have double skids on both the front and the back faces. Hopefully that will make it easy enough to move, and the plan is to nail gun these together to start with, and then once it's actually upright and up off the ground, I'm going to come along and put in some bolts so that it's really well anchored together and hopefully it will put up with being dragged around by a tractor when long term we need to move it from where it is. To start with, we're going to put it up here. I think this seems to be the best spot. There seems to be a bit of flat ground. It's not going to shade the garden too much. And we're going to feed the cow on this big, large area of grass that happens to be here. We'll try and divide it into a few paddocks and kind of strip graze through there so we can rotate her through. Hopefully putting her on fresh grass every day or every couple of days. We'll have to see how it goes with how much grass there is. It's been a long time since I've had to feed a cow. We're getting a house cow. It's always been my dream to get a house cow, and we previously have had a calf that we raised. You may remember her, Betsy. We raised her from being a calf, and the plan was to make her into a house cow, but unfortunately when it came time to mate her, we only had her, so it was really hard to tell when AI was going to be the right time. And at the same time there was an outbreak of something called microbovis, which meant that no one was willing to have her on their property, and no one was willing to lend us a bull just in case there was sort of increased biosecurity happening at the time. So unfortunately we ended up popping her in the freezer, which, I mean, yum, but it wasn't quite what the plan was. At the time we also had milking goats, and I loved having milking goats. The goat's milk, however, I could taste the goatiness of it. Half the family could and half the family couldn't. So I'm well versed at milking something, and at that routine of bringing them in and putting them in the stanchion and doing the milking and the cleaning and all that jazz, but I haven't actually done it with a cow before. So the plan is this time we're going to do it with a cow. One of the biggest things that we currently still buy from the supermarket is dairy. I messaged Matthew the other day and asked him to bring home, and what we needed was cream, butter, cheese, cream cheese and sour cream. And so I jokingly said, so basically we need a dairy cow. And then within a couple of hours my friend messaged me and said, are you after a dairy cow? I know of an A2 Jersey, naturally polled, who's looking for a new home, and they're only milking her once a day. She puts out about 12 to 15 litres a day. And it was pretty much exactly perfect for what we wanted. She's really quiet. She's on to, I think this is her 4th calf that she had. Unfortunately, the calf had to get put down. It had an umbilical infection, which was more to do with management from when the calf was born, as opposed to anything the cow herself had done. She's actually a really good mum. She looks after her baby well, and she's quite doting, I guess is the way she described it. And easy births. She's always had easy births, and she's come off a dairy, but only because it's the lady's nephew that runs the dairy. So for her it was an easy place to get a cow. It's not like she wasn't a dairy reject or anything. She was picked because she was so gentle and would make a really good house cow. I'm really looking forward to getting her. Her name is Willow, and whilst it feels like it's happened really quickly, we did put a lot of thought into whether we could manage it and whether it's really the best thing to do right now. But we've decided that because it's only once a day, and we do actually have the space, and the grass has been growing, and we have got some hay, and we've got a neighbour that has recently cut hay and baleage. So I think feeding the cow, even if there's not quite enough grass out in the paddock, won't be an issue. And we're spending so much money on dairy products at the moment, probably between $30 and $50 a week on feeding the family dairy products. So if we even just swap that to feeding a cow, as the you can hear the baby, as the grass builds up in the paddocks, next season we'll have a whole lot more. We'll need a lot less feed, and she really does seem like a good fit for us. We went out and met her. She was a bit wary of the kids, but to be fair, they were kind of being quite rowdy, and ordinarily all of us won't be rocking out and up to see the cow every morning. It will only be 1 or 2 of us. The girls are really keen to learn to milk the cow, so I'll teach them one at a time so that they know what they're doing as well, which means if I'm sick or away or what have you, the girls will be able to get Willow in. She comes when she's called. She'll come and get herself ready and waiting, walks into the stanchion quite happily. And she's very food driven, so she's pretty easy to lead around, even though she's not halter trained. Not exactly sure when she'll be ready to pick up. It basically depends when we've got the infrastructure ready. I have just ordered some more electric fence stuff. We've got to get this shed built, which once we've got some plywood on it, it won't take very long to put together actually. I just need someone to help me stand these sides up. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to stick them down in the comments down below. If you've got anything that you would like an update about around the farm, please let me know. We're going to try this vlogging thing for a bit and see how that goes. I think probably I can fit that in my life a little bit easier with the baby than trying to do instructional videos all the time, because they take quite a lot of planning, and whereas I can probably just vlog on the times that I have a chance to do so. Well, that's about all I managed to get done today. I have got the two sides done together. I got called back in a couple of times for baby and lunch break and my phone, but I'm fairly happy with the progress we've managed to make today. Thank you for joining me. I will see you in the next one.